By the time the Tao Empire's hunter units launched their assault, their commanders already possessed complete knowledge of the terrain and strategic points. Expert pathfinders and sharp-eyed air pilots have thoroughly charted every corner of the battlefield, exposing every vulnerability from the very first shot. Their coordinated maneuvers showcase unity of purpose so precise that the army effectively becomes a formidable weapon itself. Heavy transports equipped with advanced technology deliver elite troops exactly where they are needed most, while powerful artillery walkers like the KV-128 Storm Surge relentlessly breach enemy lines. Agile combat aircraft dominate the skies, engaging in swift strikes, while alien auxiliaries deploy their unique skills to turn the tide of battle. The most devastating force, however, remains the battlesuits, remarkable one-man war machines crafted from advanced Earth-engineered materials. These suits descend amid bursts of fire, cloak themselves with sophisticated camouflage, or boost their systems with experimental reactors, unleashing relentless volleys of firepower. Countless worlds have fallen under the expansionist reach of the Tao Empire, whose armies do not hesitate to impose their ideology through the barrel of a gun. Following the emergence of the Great Rifts, more planets than ever find themselves cut off, poorly protected, and vulnerable to invasion. The Tao purposefully target these worlds, eager to incorporate them into their growing empire, whether through diplomacy or force. The first contact with such a world occurred deep within the eastern fringe of imperial space. A small planet with a single vast landmass and a breathtaking sunrise, it has a history marked by conflict and resilience. It also served as the birthplace of a civilization that continues to extend its influence across the stars. Like many other sentient species, the Tao began as primitive tribes, roaming savannas and mountain regions, gradually developing language, tools, and weapons. Their rapid progress distinguished them from similar species, with each generation building on the achievements of the last. However, their swift advancement brought unforeseen peril. The Tao, a species with a surprisingly short lifespan by human standards, develops with remarkable speed and intensity. During their early days, their ancestors expanded rapidly, both physically and intellectually, fostering physical strength, martial prowess, and innovative craftsmanship. As they grew more skilled as hunters, builders, traders, and diplomats, their cultural and military development accelerated, fueling tribal alliances and conflicts. This aggressive expansion led to the dark chapter in their history, the Mon Era, a period of endless warfare that nearly drove them to extinction. Tribes fought fiercely amidst the black powder weapons and fortified strongholds, forging alliances and clashing in brutal conflicts. The shadow of that turbulent past still looms over modern Tao society, embodying a collective fear of relapsing into chaos and darkness. According to myth, the end of the Mon Era signaled a catastrophic turning point, one that left an indelible mark on their historical consciousness, a reminder of a darkness they strive to suppress but can never fully forget. Following mysterious, luminous displays in the night sky, initial fears predicted an apocalyptic event. However, instead of heralding destruction, these lights signaled the arrival of the ethereal beings. Their appearance marked a pivotal moment at Fat Town, a site where a formidable fortress was under siege. The ethereals approached calmly from the darkness, compelling leaders from opposing factions who had previously sought each other's demise to engage in dialogue. Unexpectedly, they reached a mutual understanding and formed a peace agreement long thought impossible. According to legend, the ethereals communicated at length with the assembled leaders, revealing a shared vision for the future. Their profound presence conveyed authority and inspired a new hope, leading to an alliance between formerly hostile groups. These encounters gave rise to countless similar stories, though some may be exaggerated or apocryphal, yet they underscore a crucial point. Regardless of their mysterious origins, the ethereals united the species around a common purpose. This purpose was the greater good of all, inspiring rapid advancement across their civilization. Under the guidance of these enigmatic beings, the inhabitants adopted a structured societal hierarchy based on tribal strengths. The Earth tribe, composed of builders and craftsmen, evolved into engineers and scientists, as their technological capabilities grew. The air tribe, serving as scouts and messengers, matured into pilots and explorers of space. Tribes specializing in commerce and diplomacy formed the water caste, shaping economic and political progress. The warrior tribes, initially resistant to the ethereals' teachings, took longer to embrace their lessons. Eventually, they transformed from hunters into the standing military of the society and adopted the warrior code that still governs their conduct today. During this early era, they also internalized the principles of the fire code, guiding their discipline and unity. Driven by a relentless pursuit of progress, they established orbital cities and expanded outward to settle new worlds and systems. Yet this rapid growth subjected them to severe stresses, including encounters with hostile alien species that had to be fought for survival. Their unceasing quest for expansion and resource acquisition placed immense demands on every individual within their society. The conviction that they were destined to save the galaxy fueled their efforts, even as the toll of constant conflict and hardship became evident. Despite the suffering endured with each step forward, the inhabitants of Tao appeared to thrive on overcoming obstacles, pushing themselves to new heights in the pursuit of a shared vision. Ultimately, their unwavering dedication to the greater good kept them moving relentlessly onward. The concept of the greater good, as upheld by the TVA, can be summarized as the belief that individual lives matter less than the needs of the empire as a whole. Its members willingly dedicate extraordinary efforts, endure severe hardships, and are prepared to make sacrifices, all for the sake of this collective purpose. Since the arrival of the ethereals, society has been centered around fulfilling a single destiny, with few exceptions. Nearly everyone within the empire wholeheartedly dedicates themselves to advancing the greater good, viewing it as both a duty and a privilege to carry this mission beyond their worlds and unify all sentient beings under their secular faith. The TVA places significant importance on any achievement or sacrifice that furthers this grand objective. Those who excel in serving the greater good receive recognition, while the rare individuals who exhibit arrogance, vanity, or selfishness are condemned. Thanks to the relentless efforts of Earth's miners, engineers, and architects, the cities of the tops are pristine and well organized. These advanced environments are protected from harsh natural conditions through energy shields and large habitation domes, which contain indigenous life and severe weather. Defense systems such as railguns, ion cannons, garrisons, and drone ports ensure the safety of these zones. Science complexes, cultural centers, diplomatic embassies, trade hubs, spaceports, and vibrant public spaces like fountains, sculptures, and parks fill the cities, creating bustling centers of life. Diverse alien races coexist peacefully with the TVA, often moving freely among the population. In contrast to many other civilizations, opulence is rarely seen. Such displays of wealth are viewed as wasteful, yet poverty and squalor are also uncommon. Everyone living within these cities occupies a role defined by their caste and the directives of the ethereals. They work tirelessly for the greater good, constantly influenced by propaganda that celebrates the victories and superiority of the empire and its allies. Personal destinies are largely predetermined. Individuals are integrated into a collective purpose mandated by the ethereal's commands. The words of the ethereal are law, and most TVA members accept this without question or doubt. The expansion of the TVA is considered essential to the greater good. Waiting for other races to seek enlightenment is not enough. The TVA actively strives to spread their influence to those still living in darkness and ignorance, driven by a sincere desire to uplift all sentient life forms under their banner. They believe that the message of the greater good must be shared with all civilizations, guiding each to discover the wonder of enlightenment and peace. To achieve this, they continually expand their reach, pushing outward through a series of vast developments and establishing new colonized systems they call septs. Each sept is named after its core planet, or sept world, often encompassing numerous other worlds, moons, stations, and orbital structures. Drones lead the way into the void, streaking tiny lights across space as they transmit messages of hope and unity. When a drone detects signals from an alien species, it alerts the fleet, initiating a systematic process of contact. Upon discovery, representatives of the water caste always make first contact, engaging in peaceful negotiations with the new inhabitants. These ambassadors, eloquent and fervent in their mission, aim to persuade the locals to join the empire for the collective benefit of all. If the inhabitants accept even after many generations, colonization begins immediately. The indigenous peoples are often peacefully relocated, retreating further into the empire's territory, where they can be educated about the greater good and integrated into the community. Their skills and resources are carefully assessed and utilized, and both the new worlds and their peoples are placed where they can contribute most effectively to the overall mission. Unfortunately, not all species welcome these diplomatic overtures. From the Empire's perspective, it becomes necessary to prevent any threats from these potentially hostile races. When diplomacy fails, the Empire's forces launch decisive invasions. These strikes come swiftly and with overwhelming firepower, illustrating the futility of resistance against a united force committed to the greater good. Victory is pursued decisively, but never out of cruelty. The goal is to preserve as much as possible, both the conquered worlds and their inhabitants, as valuable assets for the Empire. As the ethereal state, it is not the fault of those who cannot yet see. After conquest, a process of forced integration and re-education begins. Planetary scars are healed, and worlds are resettled as new outposts of enlightenment and culture, rebuilding the borders of light against the encroaching darkness. The Empire's influence has pushed back chaos and despair for centuries, yet ongoing conflicts and threats continue. Following the opening of the Great Rift, known to them as the Mona or Devourer of Hope, even more worlds and species have fallen into darkness and terror. Despite this, the Empire remains committed to rescue, bringing these lost civilizations into the light of their rapidly expanding realm. Their mission persists steadfast in the pursuit of a united, enlightened universe. The Tao society has long been shaped by a deep belief in the greater good, a principle so integral that it influences every aspect of their being, both physically and mentally. Over many generations, they have segregated into rigid castes, each assigned specific roles vital to the Empire's function. This caste system transforms them from numerous individuals into a unified, structured whole, with 4 primary divisions guided by a 5th guiding principle or authority. Born into their respective castes, they live according to the strict tenets of that role, with the hope of eventually passing away, having contributed meaningfully to the collective good. The ethereal overlords strictly prohibit interbreeding among different castes, overseeing their development with a gardener's care, encouraging robust growth while pruning out weaker traits. For these beings, such social stratification feels entirely natural, akin to the flow of day and night, gravity, or the passage of time. They accept all societal and personal constraints imposed by their ethereal masters as necessary sacrifices for the greater good, rarely questioning the morality or origins of their system. Within each caste, individual roles are clearly defined, yet societal progress operates on a meritocratic principle. Advancement is based on excellence, whether it's piloting combat suits, commanding armies, or engaging in scientific research. For example, a Tau from the Earth caste might rise from ordinary labor to leadership or technological innovation, contributing significantly to the Empire's progress. Despite this, they do not view pride in personal achievement as vanity. Instead, they are encouraged to find fulfillment in their work, triumphs, and discoveries. Crucially, the system emphasizes that all contributions, whether a laborer completing a task or a high-ranking officer conquering planets, are equally vital to the Empire's success. Achievements are viewed as efforts for the collective, not personal fame, fostering a culture where individuals work eagerly for the Empire's benefit. This mindset minimizes rivalry and factionalism among castes, ensuring unity. The Tau are known for their comparatively brief lifespans, which, combined with rapid evolution and strict caste divisions, have led to the emergence of nearly 4 distinct subspecies over countless swiftly passing generations. Their swift evolution and societal rigidity drive continual divergence, shaping their collective existence into a complex mosaic of related yet distinct groups. The beings have a humanoid silhouette marked by hoof-like feet and varying shades of blue skin, with their hue depending on their world's proximity to its nearest star. Despite these similarities, no one could confuse one caste for another, as their physical differences are striking. Those familiar with the Tao Empire and its more robust and aggressive fur caste might find it surprising to encounter a stout, broad earth caste individual or a swift, cunning trader from the water caste. The most unusual of all are the slender, elongated members of the air caste, with their lithe build and gangling limbs. One unifying trait across all castes is their complete insensitivity to the presence of the Empyrean. Neither psychers nor any signs of uncontrolled mutation, common among the warp's influence, are evident here. It remains unclear whether the ethereals housing this race grasp the chaotic dimension beneath real space's surface. However, their subjects seem utterly unaware of its existence. This ignorance can be beneficial, as the warp's touch is fundamentally corrupting, yet in a galaxy increasingly dominated by chaos and violence, it represents a dangerous blind spot. The fur caste embodies the warriors of this society, charged with defending the other castes and quelling any threats to the Empire's will. They are the martial backbone. Originating from the hunter tribes of the plains, the strongest and most aggressive among the Tao, they have continually grown in strength and size over generations. Weak strains are swiftly eliminated. Their code, known as the Code of Fires, emphasizes martial prowess, loyalty, and ruthless combat tempered with wisdom. Fire caste warriors dedicate their lives solely to warfare, constantly sharpening their skills and tactics through relentless training and battlefield experience. The earth caste consists of artisans, engineers, and laborers, the most populous caste, responsible for building machines, establishing colonies, and maintaining food production. Without their relentless efforts, the Empire's infrastructure would collapse. The laborers work tirelessly at the lower levels, their strength and endurance legendary. Meanwhile, the engineers and scientists, brilliant minds of innovation, develop advanced technologies and breakthroughs that sustain the Empire's progress. They also produce the weaponry vital for the fire caste's ongoing wars. Water, as an element essential to all living things, symbolizes continuous flow and vitality. It is a fitting analogy for the bureaucrats, diplomats, and administrators who manage the steady unfolding of daily affairs in this society, ensuring stability and order amid the chaos. The water caste functions as the society's civil servants, ensuring the smooth functioning of daily life. Comprising merchants, traders, and ambassadors, they move fluidly among other social groups and any aliens integrated into the Tao Empire. They are responsible for alleviating fears and orchestrating negotiations with remarkable efficiency. Throughout history, members of the water caste have specialized in languages, a skill that has become more refined over time. They effortlessly acquire alien tongues and display exceptional talent in understanding and mimicking complex social, religious, and political nuances during intercultural interactions. Originally, the air caste served as messengers, but today they predominantly act as pilots and crew members on spacecraft, transporting goods, warriors, and explorers to expand the boundaries of known space. Often called the invisible caste, the air caste seldom set foot on planets, spending most of their lives in space stations or during transit through the void. Their bodies have adapted to low-gravity environments, with elongated, lightweight frames and hollow bones that allow them to endure high accelerations. However, in worlds with even moderate gravity, they are fragile and less sure-footed. During conflicts, they dominate from above, piloting attack fighters or bombers in support of ground-based forces such as the fire warriors. The ethereal caste stands apart from their society, guiding the entire Tao Empire with wisdom and patience. They act as sage leaders, often resembling wise elders guiding younger or more impulsive members toward realizing their full potential. Their demeanor can be serene and benevolent, or firm and unyielding. Ethereals are responsible for discerning the needs of the greater good and establishing the strategies through which the Empire advances. They live longer than other castes, granting them a broader perspective, and they determine the collective goals for their people, shaping their paths forward. Viewed with near reverence, ethereals embody both spiritual and political authority, serving as rulers, strategists, and spiritual guides. They maintain a unifying presence within the empire, consulting with senior representatives from each caste. Yet, the final decisions lie with them, and they bear all responsibilities. Their role is not merely leadership, but also motivation. They inspire, direct, and sometimes rebuke the other castes as circumstances require. These leaders possess the confidence that comes from knowing they hold the monopoly on truth within their society. Among their vital duties is the orchestration of propaganda, which is broadcast continuously across the empire to foster hope and resolve among their people. It is no surprise that the TOA maintains such a tightly run, disciplined society, with their ethereal leaders guiding and shaping the collective destiny. Ethereal communication technology has advanced at a pace comparable to their starcraft and military equipment, showcasing their towering intellect and mastery. To their own kind, the ethereals are wise rulers, firm when necessary, yet fundamentally altruistic toward other species. Their distant demeanor, however, is designed to reinforce their perception as all-knowing and formidable, discouraging lesser races from challenging or fearing them openly. These cosmic observers often remain unaware of the exact methods the ethereals use to maintain such unquestioned authority, but it is understood to involve extraordinary measures. The lengths to which ethereals are willing to go in defending their sacred leaders are extreme. Capturing one of these revered beings is nearly impossible, as entire squads prefer risking their lives than allowing the loss or capture of their divine protectors. The rarity of such incidents leaves imperial biologists to speculate wildly about the mechanisms behind the ethereals' rule. They dismiss simplistic notions of blind faith, instead proposing ideas ranging from subtle psychic influence or pheromone control to more outlandish theories like mass hypnosis or organic nanite deployment. Whatever the method, the ethereals' impact during combat is unmistakable. Their presence inspires near mystical levels of precision, courage, speed, and resilience in their followers, sparking zealotry that transforms probable defeats into unlikely victories under their command. Leading this charismatic force is Anva, the highest-ranking member of the Ethereal Council and the most revered figure across the entire empire. His influence is commanding. His voice alone dictates policy and strategy. His contributions are visible in many of the Empire's most celebrated triumphs, and mere rumor of his arrival can double production rates or secure decisive military success. Anva's presence alone ignites countless ceremonial celebrations, both solemn and jubilant, celebrating his pivotal role in the Empire's victories. While he often leads from the forefront of combat, Anva does not participate directly in battles. Instead, his inspiring presence fuels his army's heroic efforts, turning ordinary soldiers into legends during campaigns like those in the Soka system or the conquest of Mount Sion. Iconic tales such as the heroic stand of the Alash Gauntlet perpetuate his reputation as the architect of glorious triumphs. Beyond the battlefield, Anva excels as a diplomat and negotiator, often winning over even the most resistant alien civilizations, expanding the Empire's reach through his silver tongue. Though he has lived countless lifespans, extraordinary even for an ethereal, his people accept this as merely another facet of his legend. They see him as an icon of enduring strength, stability, and purpose, embodying morality that is absolute, though perhaps unknowingly, this very divine stability may hinder recognition of the more nuanced truths. Ianva's life was cut short when he was slain by an imperial assassin during the catastrophic event that marked the end of the war beyond the Damocles Gulf. Recognizing the profound upheaval his death could cause within Tao society, the ethereals developed advanced technology utilizing solid light and artificial intelligence to craft a convincing illusion of continued life for the ethereal supreme. This simulacrum has successfully deceived the worshipful masses, concealing his true fate. Of course, his honor guard may now never part from his side, and no one is permitted to disturb his eternal image, for revealing the enduring deception would be a grave breach of trust. The battle suit, or hero's mantle epitomizes the spirit of the Tao of war. It represents the philosophy of overcoming obstacles through the innovative application of cutting-edge technology. For the most elite warriors, donning such armor is both a mark of distinction and a vital tool in combat. This category encompasses a constantly evolving range of highly diversified battlefield suits, each with near limitless tactical applications. The earliest battle suits created by the Earth caste were perilous not only for opponents, but also for their wearers. Thanks to the courage and sacrifice of those pioneers, modern suits have become central to warfare. Continuous innovations have given rise to new models, each more advanced than the last. Among these, the most enduringly popular is the 15th 8 Crisis, standing twice as tall as a fire warrior and equipped with nanocrystalline armor. It features multiple hardpoints for weaponry and support systems, complemented by a powerful jetpack. Typically deployed in teams via low-atmosphere insertion from Manta dropships, these suits strike a balance between speed, resilience, and firepower. The XP-8 has served as a prototype for several more sophisticated models now available to commanders. Among these are the XP-86 Cold Star, capable of transatmospheric flight, and the XP-85 Enforcer, used for sabotage and intelligence operations. The Firecast also deploys XP-2 stealth battlesuits, piloted by specialists known for their unconventional tactics and willingness to operate independently of the wider Tau military. Their skills are well justified by their combat accomplishments. The 15th 2's integral stealth systems include visual distortion generators, cloaking fields, and sensory deaden techniques, making them almost invisible until they strike. Recent additions to this line include the XP-95 Ghost K, a heavily armored stealth-capable vehicle used as a potent offensive weapon. Its pilots are veterans of FP2 operations, enhancing their covert abilities with onboard AI and a vast array of counter-sensory systems, making them formidable opponents in ambush and reconnaissance. There are also suits like the XP-88 Broadside, which discard subtlety altogether. This heavily armored, jet-assisted behemoth trades agility for sheer destructive capability, exemplifying how some battle suits are designed to dominate the battlefield through brute force rather than stealth. Armored resilience and immense firepower define these advanced combat systems, featuring heavy rail rifles, high-yield missile pods, and intelligent missile platforms. Broadsides unleash volleys capable of destroying entire tank squadrons or swarms of infantry with devastating efficiency. Among the most formidable units is the 15th 104 Riptide, the terror of Damocles and the ultimate heavy battle suit. Operated by a single fire warrior aided by an integrated AI, this towering war machine moves with jet-assisted agility that belies its imposing size. Its experimental Nova reactor, which fuses dark matter, delivers extraordinary power capable of fueling the suit's rapid maneuvers, energizing its formidable shields, and supplying its arsenal of heavy weaponry. On the battlefield, these fighters benefit from a variety of advanced technological supports, whether fighting on foot or piloting battlesuits. Over the course of their long history, the Earth caste engineers have developed countless inventions originating from their laboratories. As each new technological marvel reaches readiness for combat, it undergoes field testing by willing volunteers. Some innovations are discarded during this phase because they consume excessive power or prove too fragile under combat conditions. On rare occasions, such as with the exothermic reactive mantle, gravitic auto boosters, or the infamous pulse field projector, testing reveals that designs pose hazards for users. When that happens, these systems are returned to the laboratory for refinement, often at some loss of prestige for their creators. For each invention still awaiting perfecting, there exists a reliable, proven system that the Firecast relies on heavily. Many of these are modular and have become increasingly adaptable over time. A prime example is the ubiquitous marker light, a data beam projector used for targeting by triangulating enemy positions, undermining cover, or guiding remote strikes. Its usefulness has led to adaptations for handheld use by pathfinders and fire warriors, as well as mounts on drones, battle suits, and vehicles. In contrast, the electronic warfare suites fitted to the Ghost Guild battle suits are so advanced that they cannot be integrated into other models or miniaturized for infantry use yet. However, the Earth caste continually seeks to improve their gear. Some core systems, known as staples of the war machine, remain largely unchanged for generations due to their proven reliability. Others, though newer, have gained rapid adoption across forces, demonstrating the ongoing evolution and refinement of battlefield technology. Spearheading the cause of the greater good stands Commander Shadow Sun, a prodigious pupil of Commander Puretide, celebrated as one of the finest minds among the Fire caste and one of the Empire's most revered war heroes. Clad in her cutting-edge 15th 22 Stalker battlesuit, she employs her strategic brilliance to craft grand, complex battle plans. Her tactics often focus on targeting and neutralizing the most valuable adversary assets, showcasing her mastery in combat. Over 4 centuries ago, the humble Shazla, who would become Commander Shadow Sun, demonstrated such exceptional talent that she earned the opportunity to learn firsthand from the legendary Commander Puretide. Despite being his youngest student, her performance surpassed that of many peers, save for one, Command Uva Osas. Their rivalry intensified, pushing both to achieve ever greater feats in the name of the Empire. This fierce competition extended to the brutal campaign on Death Prime, where their efforts collectively slowed the Imperial advance. While Uva Osas received notable recognition for his daring maneuvers, it was Shadow Sun's meticulous planning and strategic mastery that laid the foundation for his success. Following that campaign, Commander Farsight was assigned a risky new mission beyond the Damocles Gulf. Shadow Sun, along with other remaining pupils of Puretide, was placed into suspended animation, awaiting the moment when the Empire would need new heroes. The restless and fiercely competitive Commander Osha Sarah accepted this long slumber without hesitation, fully committed to the cause, even as her rival continued to gather victories. Her unwavering dedication proved true when, during the Great War against the Orcs, she was revived by the ethereals upon Uva's command and entrusted with commanding sizable forces. Throughout the war, Commander Shadow Sun repeatedly demonstrated her exceptional talent in warfare, but her most renowned achievement was a daring stealth operation to stop the Orc expansion. She led a covert team into the enemy's heartland, timing her strike to coincide with an artificial eclipse. Employing low-flying Orca dropships, her force was covertly deployed directly behind enemy lines under cover of darkness. Her warriors systematically took out Orc leaders, including the warlord himself, whom she tracked and eliminated with precise fire. Afterward, she ordered her team to launch a coordinated attack. With their leaders fallen, the Orcs descended into chaos and panic, which Shadow Sun capitalized on to deliver a decisive blow that significantly shifted the tide of the conflict. In this daring feat, her strategic audacity and precise execution solidified her reputation as one of the Empire's greatest heroes, illustrating her unwavering dedication to the greater good and her exceptional skill in warfare. Light pierced through the artificial veil as the battle concluded, giving birth to a new legend in the Fire caste. Elevated to the rank of Supreme Commander, Sarah addressed gathered warriors from the Montier Battle Dome, the site where Farsight had once trained. Clad in her revolutionary 13th 22 battlesuit, she was a striking figure, inspiring heartfelt admiration among all who saw her. Under her command, the entire Fire caste watched as Shadow Sun launched a fierce barrage at the statue of Farsight, obliterating the effigy of a hero who had become a traitor. As the dust settled, Sarah laid out the upcoming campaigns that the Tao Empire would undertake, emphasizing the importance of honor, the sacred fire code, and the fundamental law of the Talva. Her words ignited a unanimous resolve among her warriors, who pledged unwavering loyalty to their new leader, ready to follow her into any challenge. Since that pivotal moment, though she has been placed in stasis more than once, Commander Osha Sarah has remained the Empire's symbol of strength. Her leadership drove the Third Sphere's expansion, securing numerous victories, and cemented the creation of enduring septs that persist beyond the Damocles sector. During the conflict, she orchestrated the swift conquest of Agrin in a single day and outmaneuvered the formidable chapter master of the Arhaven Guard Space Marines, Corvin said. Additionally, Sarah spearheaded the Fifth Sphere's bold push into the uncharted regions beyond the Silence Zone within the Chal Noth Expanse, achieving multiple strategic victories, some through diplomacy, others through overwhelming force. Her tactical brilliance culminated after her triumph on Aorus, shifting her focus once more to her ancient foes, the Orcs. Drawn by the chaos of the three-front campaign in the Chalna Expanse, hordes of green skins emerged from the Fola Nebula, launching disorganized invasions. Despite the chaos in the Thoril, Ratov, and Barrier systems, Sarah refused to let this new threat destabilize the fragile progress of the Nimara Toll. She deployed her forces across the Vias Medes and Asota systems, implementing a complex, interconnected military strategy rooted in Khan philosophy. This approach aimed to drain the Orcs' momentum and eradicate their danger to the Fifth Sphere's expansion, which continued to develop through distinct phases of exploration, conquest, and colonization, what are known as spheres of expansion. Each phase involved a prolonged buildup of resources, followed by successive waves of exploratory missions and military campaigns. This cycle established new septs, which served as launch points for subsequent expansions, gradually pushing the Empire outward. Despite the immense distances and the passage of thousands of years, these efforts steadily advanced the Empire's reach, shaping the future of its vast and enduring pursuits. The initial expansion into the cosmos by the Tao civilization was notably rapid and transformative, driven by a desire to explore and colonize distant star systems around their homeworld. Over time, they established their first 8 well-equipped colonies, marking an era of daring exploration and technological innovation that their entire species greatly valued. During this period, the might of their Firecast-powered spacecraft became widely recognized and respected as they faced numerous challenges from hostile alien predators on uncharted worlds, which had to be subdued before settlements could thrive. Meanwhile, the Watercast, with assistance from ethereals, demonstrated their crucial role in this expansion as they cultivated alliances with diverse alien races, even those initially perceived as strange or hostile, gradually integrating these beings into the Empire's fabric. Still, one race remained impervious to diplomacy, the Orcs, who were present throughout the galaxy and proved to be inherently aggressive and difficult to control. Recognizing that their hostility impeded broader progress, the Tau eventually accepted that these Orcs could not be pacified or absorbed into their society, despite numerous costly conflicts. As space distances grew vast, the initial expansion slowed, prompting the Tau to develop advanced new methods of space travel. They created their first artificially intelligent systems and incorporated countless alien auxiliaries, expanding their influence and military strength. Then, the invention of the ZFR Horizon Accelerator engine, the first propulsion system capable of pushing vessels near light speed, marked a turning point. This technological leap enabled the Tau to plan their second, more ambitious expansion, which was authorized by Ethereal Supreme Envoy. The second wave of expansion surpassed the first in scope and scale, with more than a dozen new colonies established across previously uncharted regions. During this era, Commander Puretide emerged as a legendary figure, leading masterful military campaigns that founded colonies such as Elir, Tashbar, and Alal. Even the battle-hardened Orcs hesitated to confront Puretide, attesting to his strategic genius. Towards the end of this period, Tau forces crossed into the mysterious Damocles Gulf, encountering the Imperium for the first time. Early negotiations resulted in the peaceful annexation of several human worlds, but ultimately provoked a fierce imperial backlash, forcing the Tau to retreat. The Damocles Crusade descended into brutal conflict, ultimately losing momentum thanks to commanders Ova and Osa Sera, who mounted a resilient stand on Death Prime. Following this defeat, the ethereal ONV dispatched Ova back into the Gulf in an effort to reclaim lost territory. However, Ova and his followers mysteriously vanished amid the turmoil. Simultaneously, the High Fleet, Gorgon of the Tyranid Swarm, devastated Kelshan Sea, signifying the emerging threats faced by the Tao and their continuing expansion. The final reserves of the Tao were exhausted in the battles that preceded the defeat of the invaders. With the second sphere expansion nearly complete, the Tao Empire was on the verge of launching its third grand expansion when a colossal orc emerged from the Western Veil Nebula, launching a fierce assault on Vorla Saka and Tao Imps. This marked the beginning of the Great War of Confederacy, during which BV, the ethereal supreme, united the entire Tao Empire into a cohesive war machine. Their goal was to halt and ultimately overcome the Greenskins, who had risen as a formidable threat. During the later stages of the second sphere expansion, some of Commander Underpure Tid's most promising disciples were placed into suspended animation, awaiting a time when their skills would be most needed. It was during the Orc invasion that Anva ordered the awakening of Commander Osa Sarah, sensing her pivotal role in the coming struggle. Over the 12-year-long war, Shadow Sun earned her reputation as the most legendary commander in living memory, securing victories at VOR, the Dawn Worlds of Kusan, and the Crush expansions. The Empire, now fully committed to total war, recruited seasoned veterans who believed victory was within reach. As the conflict intensified, Anva initiated the third sphere of expansion, deploying the new Earthcast fleet, which used faster-than-ever void ships equipped with stasis chambers capable of transporting entire hunter cadres into suspended animation. Under Shadow Sun's leadership, this expansion rapidly advanced across the Damali Gulf, following decades of delicate diplomacy with alien worlds. Her forces quickly claimed numerous planets, culminating in the decisive conquest of Aran, which was declared the capital of the new Mughali-based Sept. Some factions naively thought the Imperium was in retreat, but they underestimated their adversaries' resilience. Only the unexpected aid of Anva and his rebels prevented total annihilation in the brutal counteroffensive. Despite this, the war exacted a heavy toll. Anva was slain by nightmare-marish Imperial assassins, though his death was kept secret. Refusing to accept stalemate, the Imperium unleashed a devastating Architect superweapon whose destructive fires blackened Argon and spanned the Damocles Gulf, driving a wedge between both sides. This atrocity, unparalleled in scale, brought the third sphere of expansion to a tragic and sudden end.